Welcome to the Know, I'm Ashley. It's Friday. It's also a long weekend. Reminder, we aren't going to be doing news on Monday because we have the day off. It's a whole company holiday thing. It's gonna be awesome. But until then, we got some news for you. Hitting on Lootboxes is pretty in vogue right now, and it looks like Witcher and Cyberpunk 2077 developer CD Projekt RED is lining up to take the next shot. In a new interview with PC Gamer, co-founder Mashan Ovinsky said that developers need much more transparency than what they're currently offering, and that players deserve value when they spend money, which I think echoes a lot of our sentiments. Ovinsky told PC Gamer, "Where we stand is quite simple, and you could see it with all of our past releases, most recently The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt and Gwent. If you buy a full-price game, you should get a big, polished piece of content which gives you many, many hours of fun gameplay. The definition of many may vary on a title-by-title basis, but in our case, it was always 50 to 60 plus hours of the main storyline, with up to a couple hundred of hours of side activities, if you really wanted to max out the title. To me, this is a fair deal. You get what you paid for, plus we are always trying our best to over-deliver." He went on to say that the type of backlash we're seeing from players is good for the industry, because, maybe the developers won't do it. One thing that's not so great for the industry is the inevitable layoffs we see hit game developers after their major projects settle down. Unfortunately, that just happened with Mafia 3 developer Hangar 13, according to a report from Kotaku. A sizable portion of the studio's staff was laid off this week. Publisher 2K won't confirm the scope of the layoffs, but did respond in a statement saying 2K can confirm there have been staff reductions at Hangar 13 in order to ensure that the studio's resources are properly aligned with its long-term development plans. These reductions will not influence 2K's ability to create and deliver its products that are currently in development. These layoffs struck despite Mafia 3 setting a 2K record with 4.5 million shipments in its first week at retail. Shipments, not sales, keep that in mind, but still a lot, and 5 million in sales by the end of last March. So we wish the best of luck to everyone affected. Hopefully you'll be picked up by a new studio very soon. You made a great game, so that should help. Now, if you're hurting for something to play this weekend, it looks like you might have lots of free options to try out some new games. For starters, the Metal Gear Survive PC and console beta is kicking off this weekend ahead of its launch next week on February 20th. This is the second console beta and the first PC beta with all content available in 2 to 4 player co-op. Sea of Thieves is also giving players a surprise beta this weekend in order to scale test the game's servers. This beta will be for anyone who had previous access to the beta, so it's not an open beta, not just anyone. Rare says they're not going to be addressing feedback during this test. It's mostly to see how they can handle a maximum amount of players. After the last beta, I think those of us who played can agree they kind of need it. In addition to all that, Rainbow Six Siege is going to be totally free to play until February 18th on all platforms, just in time for players to try it out before the Chimera update goes live on March 6th. So lots of free options. But if you want to pay for stuff, well, hasn't been that long since the last Steam sale, but who needs a good reason to save on PC games? Valve launched the platform's Lunar New Year sale this week with plenty of discounts for you to consider until it ends on February 19th. Notable discounted games include Cuphead, which is great, Stardew Valley, which is great, the Divinity series, which is great, Hellblade, which is great, Watch Dogs 2, which is pretty good at 66% off, Dark Souls 3, which is 75% off if you want to hate yourself for cheap, and well, I mean just about everything else. It's a Steam sale. In addition to the sale, Steam also updated its wishlist functionality to give you better filtering options and more information about the titles on your wishlist. So yeah, you can enjoy all those new features too while you're figuring out what it is you want to buy. I recommend pretty much everything we listed. Cuphead, Divinity Original Sin 2 is spectacular. Stardew Valley, I never shut up about anyway. Just a couple of ideas. Now we got some more juicy rumors to share about a possible Warcraft 3 remaster, which I would love to see become a reality. According to a Reddit thread, some popular Warcraft 3 esports competitors have been invited to Blizzard for some sort of secret event, which many people think will be the announcement of a long-anticipated remastered version of the game. This is one of Blizzard's best games ever. Come on, don't leave it languishing in the dark. The two Russian players, Happy and Hawk, did a stream from Serbia where they said they went to apply for US visas. They didn't say why, but a lot of people think that the only reason they'd be going to the US is, well, for something really big like the unveiling of the remaster. And Blizzard launched a test server for Warcraft 3 last fall for the first time in 15 years. The clues are coming together. A lot of smoke, no fire, sure, fine. But we'll have to wait and see. An announcement in the near future seems like it's more and more of a possibility than ever, and I don't know. I'm just following this one really closely because I'm very hopeful about it. Warcraft 3 was awesome. If you've ever wanted to try PlayStation VR, well, now's a pretty good time. The standalone headset is only $200 for the next couple of weeks. That's a $100 drop from its normal price, so good savings there, and Sony's dropped the prices of some VR bundles too. The Doom VFR bundle will cost $300, down from $400, and the Skyrim VR bundle has dropped to $350, down from $450. In a post on the official PlayStation blog, Vice President of PlayStation Marketing Mary Yee said they're doing the price cut because a similar promotion over the holidays was so popular, and that deal runs from now until March 3rd. PlayStation VR is actually a pretty cool experience. It's not the resolution, it's not the powerhouse that you get with Oculus and Vive with the PC, but it's pretty good and it's pretty friendly too. The new trailer for Steven Spielberg's Ready Player One, speaking of cool VR headsets, revealed some very familiar video game armor in one of the big action scenes. Yes, there will be Spartans in the mix. We've already seen glimpses of Tracer from Overwatch, Lara Croft from Tomb Raider, Chun-Li from Street Fighter, the frickin' Battletoads, which made Brian really happy, and even the Ostrich Warriors from Joust. It shouldn't be a surprise that all this nerdy detail is already known just from the trailers. And that's basically what the book is just dropping reference after reference after reference, and Spielberg's been a big video game fan since the beginning. Still really fun to see that Spartan armor pop up in the latest trailer, especially considering Spielberg has been developing a Halo TV series for a few years. Halo's like cursed for screen adaptations. This may be the closest we get, so if we never get to see that, at least we have a bunch of Spartans kicking ass in this epic battle of pop culture icons. Yay! Ron Howard took to social media to reveal a new Solo, a Star Wars story cast member, director Jon Favreau. Howard tweeted that Favreau is playing a very cool and important alien character, and then Favreau followed up that with a tweet showing off an image of an alien pilot of some sort, presumably his character. This is yet another fun little tidbit that just underlines how little, honestly, we know about the new Star Wars movie. It's coming out in just a few months. It's coming very soon, and we've seen so little. At least we finally have a trailer. Howard was also asked on Twitter if he himself would be lending his voice to the movie, and he responded with a hearty, "Nope, zero chance." I guess his narration for Arrested Development is a little too recognizable and would take people out of the movie a little bit. They start expecting Michael Cera to just like walk in awkwardly from off camera. Speaking of movie makers, director Uwe Boll. We all remember him. Remember the guy, he made Blood Rain, I think he made a Far Cry movie. Basically, if there's a terrible video game to movie adaptation, he probably made it. And he's not too happy about the poster for the upcoming Paul Thomas Anderson movie. The director, who's legendary for making really bad movies, claims that the poster for Anderson's new movie, Phantom Thread, ripped off the poster for Blood Rain. In a tweet, Boll posted a side-by-side of the two posters, which, I mean, they do have a certain similarity, and said, "That's not a coincidence." At any rate, it looks like the Phantom Thread is doing just fine, regardless of whatever its poster is. It's got a 91% on Rotten Tomatoes. It's been nominated for 6 Academy Awards, including Best Picture, Best Actor, and Best Director. I would be really surprised if someone was like, we needed a poster for this really thoughtful, like thought-provoking film. Blood Rain! But they are a little bit similar. Of course, there's a lot of movie posters that are similar now, all the like little heads all over the place. We'll see. Users of the cryptocurrency exchange Coinbase were freaking out recently after the service was overcharging users, but the company says, hey, great news, it's identified the problem and fixed it. The issue came to light a few days ago when some users complained that they purchased currencies like Bitcoin or Ether, but then Coinbase was repeating the purchases multiple times, sometimes fully cleaning out people's bank accounts and resulting in overcharge fees. Well, Coinbase responded to the situation and said that the overcharges had to do with a merchant category code change by the credit card networks. They said in a statement, "We've identified a solution and future purchases will not be affected. We will ensure any customer affected by this issue is fully refunded." So that's great. FCC Chairman Ajit Pai may have won a brief battle against net neutrality back in December, but it looks like he's got some new problems now. The New York Times reports that Pai is apparently under investigation by the FCC's Inspector General over ties he might have with Sinclair Broadcast Group, a huge American telecom. What? Weird. That investigation apparently kicked off because Pai led the charge to change some rules about media market ownership, which paved the way for Sinclair to merge with Tribune Media just a few weeks later. Now, you may or may not know what any of that means or care, but the short version is that the merger would give Sinclair TV stations in 7 out of 10 households and potentially cut local news. Because if one media group owns all the news, well, that's generally, it's not considered a great thing because they can tell you whatever they like and there's no one to counter them. Now, the Inspector General is looking into the matter to see if Pai has any improper ties with Sinclair that might have pushed him to change the rules to benefit himself. This has been a big concern with the FCC as well, as far as the net neutrality issue went, with a lot of people very concerned that the FCC seemed to be ignoring actual user feedback and pushing through their own agenda and worrying about, hidden backers in a similar situation. So we'll see how this investigation goes. Maybe we can get some stuff rolled back. Well, we can hope. Look, we can hope. Otherwise, we have to work really, really hard for it, and that's going to be tiring. We'll do it, but it's going to be tiring. All right, that is the news for this roundup and for this week. Let us know what you think of all these stories in the comments down below. To make sure you get news from every corner of the internet every weekday, except for next Monday, because again, that is a holiday. Make sure you like this video, and if you're new to this channel, please subscribe. So yeah, you can enjoy all that too while you're figuring out what you want to buy and then probably never play. This is the part. Oh, look at that. This is the part where we normally make a joke about how you want to play in these games, but we spare you that this time. We won't. Which, if you're doing the math at home, is like, well, it's 33%. Took me a while to do that math. I'm gonna back up a little bit. Oh man, this is a rough day.